Hello. So this is 3 days later for me, back from work. Um, in terms of the situation we've got, so we are at 8:51. We're still in Nerdy Alley, and 7 Platoon. Their fighting patrol's been pushing forward towards Northern Compound. They've taken 3 casualties, 2 of which have been evacuated. So that is 1 Brit, 1 Afghan. We've also got the third one. Third one's in centre compound. I think we're about to stabilise them and evacuate. I was thinking whilst I was away, this was supposed to be a demonstration of the actual little mods that I've made here. Not really taking a great deal of time to look at them. It's also meant to be a bit of a casual playthrough. But whilst I've been away, I'll be honest, I've gone down a bit of a rabbit hole, as typical. I've started reading Dead Men Risen, so I think that's certainly in the briefing explaining this situation. I've picked up a book from Osprey about the British Army between 2006 and 2014. I've watched back some documentaries on this event, or this wider Herrick deployment. And it's kind of been funny because I've started questioning my own recollections, if I'm honest, because I do think I probably have a flawed perspective on this. I thought I knew the area. I thought I knew the whole recent history, but it is showing a gap in my knowledge. So reading these books, the difference between years or even from one deployment to the next, a lot happens. It is quite a complex situation. And I do remember receiving briefings and talks in pre-deployment, so OPTAG. But I'd almost say, thinking about it, my view is probably like history began in March 2010 and ended September, October 2010. So my little window of whilst I was there. And on top of that, because I didn't really stay put, I was moving from unit to unit. So the longest I'd stay in an area was about 2 months. I probably didn't gain as deep an understanding as I thought I had about operations outside of my specialism. So what was really happening in the area. So yeah, that's highlighted a bit of a gap in my knowledge. I might try and talk through some of this if we do get quiet moments again, because it's still interesting. So some of that rabbit hole reading against my recollections. But I do understand now, whilst I thought I knew this, key example. Okay, so when I went to Nadi Ali, I am certain that I went to Haji Lem. But in my head it was on this side of the canal. And I can remember crossing a bridge and heading down on this side of the canal to the checkpoint I ended up at. Azadi, I think it was called. And in the book, and I think in the briefing as well, well, it was either in the book or the briefing, possibly even on the forums, Haji Lem was destroyed later, so plot spoiler. I think they had to withdraw from Haji Lem and destroy it, basically, drop a bomb on it. But I'm certain, whether they rebuilt it and renamed it or what, but I could have sworn I went there. Albeit coming, in my head, albeit coming down from, is it Shazad? Where's Shazad? See, even this is hazy. It was probably Silab looking at that. But yeah, coming down from this side, across, and then I could have sworn I was on this side. Did a bit of sorting myself out, got back in the vehicles, crossed the canal and came down on this side of the canal. Because I can remember when I was in my checkpoint further south, I can remember, and this was probably Tor Shazad. So I can remember we were in Azadi, and there was another team from our unit. I could have sworn they stopped at Haji Lem, coming down in a convoy, and I can remember they were short of batteries or something, so he stopped off. I can remember wading up to my, I want to say hips or possibly up to chest through the canal, throwing a bunch of batteries in the Mastiff and then coming back across. But I could have sworn they were on this side of the river because that's the side that my recollection. It isn't. I can see the map in the book. This checkpoint was on this side, but it was destroyed, and I'm just trying to figure out. I could have sworn it was there was something on this side, whether it was further up, whether they renamed another compound, I don't know, but yeah, that's a little bit of useless memory, like I say. In terms of what we're doing here, though, so I think, like I say, we've cleared out. I think this was compound 5. Compound 4, sensor compound. And I wonder, so I'll see what happens, but I think if this takes forever to resolve, it may be the same situation as this one. So it took forever to capture these Taliban because, you know, the headquarters nearby was yelling, "Don't you dare give up," type thing. And if it takes forever, you could assume there might be, in the next compound across, further fighters that just, for combat mission reasons, prevent this surrender happening. Either way, going to stabilise this casualty that we have here from the engineers. So that was a bit of a sloppy clearance when we blew our way in and ended up in that firefight. They also, now I think they took fire from, RPG up here. That may be worthwhile popping smoke and crossing back away from this compound. And then looking at the direction we're going, so the northern compound. We've seen fighters filling in from up here. And I probably should have watched the video back, but I think there's a little ambush waiting for us here. You can certainly see some fighters here. Probably, I feel like there are no objectives here. We don't, other than making sure we don't get shot from compound 5 passing through. I almost don't see why we can't bypass and loop round, so ignore this ambush, cut through, moving from not trench, waterway to waterway, and come in from the west, which possibly, I mean, this looks okay unless they're on the rooftops. It almost is favourable to blast in through this wall into the northern compound, clear that out, and then you have a good position looking up to the northeast compound. So that's, as I've talked through, I think that's what I'll probably do. Pop smoke, get these across the road. Who have we got? I might use one section to lead off, heading over this way, because we've still got 2 sections on this roof which can cover to the west and to the south. We have so it looks like we've split. Have we split 3 sections? That is. No, it isn't. I know what's happened. So we broke off an assault section to clear centre compound. I think I could probably bring 3 section up to the rooftop here, stabilise the casualty, and then they can again face to the west and north. And then 1 section, I think, we'll start working our way up here and gradually get the platoon to patrol up here, supporting each other. So yeah, that's, I think what I will probably do is plan that before I press go. And then that's sort of what I want them to do. Have we got any fire missions? Running a little lower on the 81. Not used any of the Platoon mortars. Yeah. I'll double check the CP and then I'll press go. Might want to adjust that ever so slightly. But otherwise, I think that looks okay. So this is the other thing I had been thinking is the benefit I have is I can fly up here. You know, poor old Platoon commander. This is their view of the world. They can hear this firefight. They can't see what's going on. They will have I suppose they'll be getting sit-reps from their sections. This is the view of the Platoon commander. Right, what's going on? Let that smoke build a little before I get them across the road. I didn't like that. What's that noise? I still think this certainly got this ambush on this T-junction. It's whether you assault across or just leg it, I think. I think the fact we've lost contact to me indicates that this smoke is billowed. And I'll just absolutely peg it back, I think, whilst we've got the cover. Sounds like the sniper doing his work. Yep. Might do another strike on our headquarters. Who's this? That might be why they're not firing, they're low on ammunition. I think that missed. Looked like it was short. Right, they need to get some more ammunition. What do they actually need? So we've got that casualty out. Again, this is taking some time to resolve, which again makes me just think they're in this compound. Is that the right now? Just grab as much as you can. I think it'd be useful to get some of these guys on rooftops too. Probably a bit quicker than that though. Bring the platoon commander a bit more central. And I might call it there actually. That's not too bad a point.